If you ever decided you wanted to shave a lizard, you'd find that their skin is black, even under their white stripes. The reason for zebras' fashionable coats is still a mystery, but scientists think that the stripes may dazzle and confuse flies. In fact, cows and horses who have been painted like zebras don't get bitten by bugs as often. Not all striped animals are the same underneath. Tigers have striped skin. Polar bears, meanwhile, have long white fur and black skin. Monkeys wash using their own pee. There's no soap or hand sanitizer in the animal kingdom, so tufted capuchin monkeys turn to the next best thing. They wash their hands and feet with their pee. At first, scientists thought they peed on themselves to cool down or to mark their territory, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Now they think that monkeys might pee wash to attract mates with the smell, to ward off fights with other monkeys, or just to help them relax. Wombats poop cubes. You may be interested to find that wombat poop is cubed. It is stackable like building blocks. The cube shape comes from their unusual intestine, which has just the right combination of stiff and flexible sections to form the poop into blocks as it moves through their body. No one knows why wombat poop cubes. One idea is that the cube shape helps wombats mark their territory. Cubes don't roll away like rounder shapes, so wombats can confidently leave piles of poop on uneven surfaces, like rocks and logs. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. Let's get to the bottom of this. Many turtles spend the winter buried deep in the mud at the bottom of ponds, but how do they breathe through all that gunk, water and ice? Well, through their butts, of course. The turtle's butthole, called the cloaca, is lined with blood vessels that take oxygen out of the water, so the turtle doesn't have to breathe with its mouth and nose. Some turtles also use the oxygen they get from their rear ends to dive underwater for longer when looking for food. Meet a very stinky cabbage. Cabbage isn't exactly known for smelling good when cooked, but the eastern skunk cabbage takes smelling bad to a whole new level. This North American plant warms itself up when it blooms in late winter, getting high enough to melt the snow around it. The warm air also makes a tiny breeze as it moves through the cabbage's leaves, spreading its stench everywhere to attract insects to pollinate it. Secrets of the sloth. Sloths live a slow, quiet life, but delve beneath the surface, and all is not as it seems. These mammals grow algae in their fur. The sloths are quite happy about this, as the algae provides camouflage in the forest, as well as extra snacks. But the algae doesn't grow on its own. The sloths farm it with the help of sloth moths. These moths lay their eggs in sloth poop. As an adult, they live in the sloth's fur, where they fertilize the algae. A sloth carries a whole ecosystem in its fur. Imagine that. Yeah, super strong. Some bugs are unsquishable. The diabolical ironclad beetle is so strong that it can be run over by a car and walk away totally fine. The beetle's outer shell, called an exoskeleton, gets its strength from two features: thick layers of protein and interlocking zipper-like joints, both of which help it to spread out and absorb crushing forces. Engineers are trying to copy the beetle's exoskeleton to make sturdier airplanes, bridges, and buildings. Hey, are you really a crab? What do king crabs, porcelain crabs, hairy stone crabs, hermit crabs, and horseshoe crabs have in common? They are not real crabs. These imposters have a crab-like shape but are not closely related to true crabs. You can tell a true crab apart from a fake crab by its legs. True crabs have 4 pairs of long legs, but fake crabs only have 3, plus 1 pair of short legs. Huh. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that, the hermit crab. I'm definitely a crab, the hermit. Of course I'm a crab. Look at me, lame crab. I come from a long line of crabs, and my mother was a crab, my father was a crab, my Uncle Paul was a crab, the coconut crab. Ask me that again, I'll pincher you, the hermit crab. You'd think getting swallowed by a frog would be the end of the line for a bug. Not if you're a beetle with a tough shell and a lot of determination. Some beetles can survive being swallowed, and then it's time to plot their escape. There are 2 directions in which they can go. Japanese water beetles head south, crawling through the frog's guts before walking out its butt. Bombardier beetles are even worse. They spray a nasty chemical that makes the frog vomit, then back up. The woodpecker tongue twister. Woodpeckers hammer holes in trees and scoop out tasty grubs with their long, sticky tongues. But where does a woodpecker store its super long tongue after it's done eating? It wraps it around its brain. The tongue splits into a Y shaped in the woodpecker's throat before looping around the back of their head. Sometimes the tongue is so long the tip ends up in the back of the bird's nostril. Holy crap. Yeah, underwater spies. The future of warfare is interesting. Who do you want on your side? Soldiers? Artificial intelligence? How about dolphins and sea lions? Believe it or not, the United States Navy Marine Mammal Program trains these underwater mammals to conduct military missions. The animals learn how to guard harbors, find mines underwater, and retrieve lost equipment with their supercharged underwater senses. Dolphins' natural sonar, they can locate objects using echoes. And sea lions' excellent low light vision and agility outperform human divers and robots. As of 2019, there were about 70 dolphins and 30 sea lions working as spies in the program, which is based in San Diego, California. Let's see, the smartest dog in the world is the Chihuahua. You may have seen them being carried around in handbags. Small dog syndrome. Dogs mark their territory by peeing on trees, lampposts, and their tall objects. It is also why dogs like to sniff these things. They want to learn who else is around, but dogs also lie, especially the little ones. Small dogs tilt their legs up and shoot high when they mark their territory with pee, tricking other dogs into thinking they are taller and scarier than they really are. The beetle astronomer. What do ancient sailors and dung beetles have in common? They use the stars to find their way home. Dung beetles sniff out mounds of poop left by other animals and roll them into a large ball they can snack on later. To find their way back to base, the beetles stand up on their poop balls and observe the night sky. They take a mental snapshot of the Milky Way, the galaxy out that our solar system is in. Use it as a map to find their way. Clever, huh?